Hey, what's happening? You already know what time it is, man. It's about time for us to drop another show. But before we do that, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. And if you're on Facebook, sit back, relax, kick back, and just enjoy. We're going to bring it to you like we always do. But if you're on YouTube or if you're going to try to go to YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We got you covered, baby. Birdcage.
BirdCage.
What's going on? What's going on? You already know who it is, man. This is your boy, the historian, in the building tonight. Shout out to, first off, I got to give a shout out to my guy, Anthony Danza, Seattle's best kept secret. As he always says, I'm going plant based, but I let him know it's still beef. You already get the gist of it, but I'm not going to get too far into that. But shout out to my man Danza out there, one of the best in the game out in Seattle, putting his name on it. But we're going to get to these Falcons in a little bit. But I'm going to also have my crew coming in. We got a few things we're going to talk about today. Speaking on the expectations for the draft this week coming up. Outside of the draft, we're also going to talk about some of the expectations that we have coming into not just the draft, but I would say coming into fall camp. What is it going to be like for these coaches? What is it going to be like for those who are in a situation where they're actually making some things work? So let's get down to it, man. I got to bring my first guest into the building or whatnot. He's out in the middle of heavens, and I'll just say it's heavenly where he is out in Tennessee. Got to bring in our guy, Coach Brant. He's out there plowing the fields and making sure the animals are good, and he's making sure Kyle Pitts, his big brother, is doing fine and whatnot. What's going on, Coach Brant?
What's going on? Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. You know, it's been a long time since we've had you on, man. We saw that you posted that sweet girl, your horse. You had to let her rest yesterday. Rest in peace to her. She looked like she was a beautiful, beautiful stallion.
Yeah. She was a rescue. She got to live her last 3 years out good here on the farm, so we took care of her. She was a good one.
It's always good when we could make sure that everybody is squared away. So my condolences to you and the family, because I know she's an extended family member. For those that are on Facebook tonight, make sure that you click the StreamYard link or whatnot so we can actually comment with you tonight. We got some stuff coming up. And for those that are on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button for us once again. And let's get to it. So the first thing we got, Coach, and I got to say what's going on about that. It's okay. I know who this is. This is my guy, Miles Murphy. It's all good. It's much love on this end, buddy. You don't have to apologize for you not knowing I was a dog fan, but, hey, it's all good. But let's get to it. Tom Brady is hinting at coming back into the NFL again with the Miami Dolphins. The New York Post reported this less than 4 hours ago. Coach, I want to hear what do you have to say about this, man? Tom Brady is talking about possibly coming back. Can this man just go ahead and collect his pension? He's already done enough damage to enough people's lives.
I think he's just trying to prove something to that young girl he's dating now.
He better worry about being able to keep his strength. Shoot, you want to prove something? You got enough money to pay for her bags and stuff. You better make sure that she's not pushing you around in a wheelchair, getting ready to collect your money, signing the insurance papers.
That's right.
I guess he wants to be the George. I guess he wants to be the George Foreman of football.
He might know something that we don't know about Tua. You know,
Hey, Tua's already thinking about retirement from what I've been told. That was going to be the other topic. He considered that with all the injuries that he's had, but you know, you never know what's going to happen. But you put Brady in a situation like that, you might as well just hand Miami the trophy because they got track stars on that offense. Period.
they got to keep him upright though. Tua was getting beat around for a reason. That offensive line suspect.
He
And
wasn't he wasn't just getting beat around, he was getting whipped like a redheaded stepchild. That's what was happening.
that's right. And you know, crybaby Brady don't like nobody getting within 6 foot. He's still playing COVID rules. He don't want
Hey,
nobody touching him.
well, you already know if you fart next to him, you already know that's a done deal.
Ask Grady Jarrett.
Please, don't remind us about that sack because that sack literally cost us the game because it killed
Right.
the momentum because we literally had them on the ropes
Right. Oh yeah.
in
I'm
that
with you.
game. That kind of hurt. That kind of hurt my feelings or whatnot when you talk about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time here, we're gonna talk about Falcons football. But what we do here, we actually talk about our out the cage segments, which means we talk a little bit about other teams and other news going on in the NFL when it comes to a lot of these teams. So the next thing that we have on the menu is Denver has no draft picks until the 3rd round, coach, because of the Russell Wilson deal that was given away. Just think about it. It's still some good players out there, but you looking at the Russell Wilson deal, that's seriously a problem.
Yeah, they better get him an offensive line, or he's going to be in the next one. That's going to be considering early retirement because he's starting to get a little long in the tooth. He's lost a step too. You know what I mean?
And speaking of long in the tooth, we had to add our great beard, our brother,
man.
Mr. Glenn Smalls, aka Great Beard, my partner. What's going on?
What's up, Glenn?
BirdCage, what is going on? Coach B, how you doing, sir?
Hey man,
Friday.
what it do?
I'm gonna tell you what's going on. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. I'm going plant-based. I'm still gonna let them know I'm still about the beef if you get what I'm saying.
Always about the beef.
Always. But we ain't gonna get to that, man. I just had to kind of cut it on you.
But y'all talking about good old boy Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah. Look at what they gave. Look at what they gave up in Denver, bro. And right now, with all the defensive players and offensive players that can come out right now in this point of the draft, look at it. Look what's going on.
They gave up an entire team. I mean, it's that simple. They gave up an entire team, and like Coach B was saying earlier, man, he lost his step, and his offensive line is like fiberglass right now. So you get hit like a couple more times, man.
Well, speaking of fiberglass, we got somebody else that just slid into the cage or whatnot, like a piece of fiberglass. It's sticky, it hurt, but it come in the clutch when you pull it out, and you can come through. So shout out to my man Killian K. Dub Worthy, aka Clutch. What's going on, bro?
What it is, what it do, BirdCage. Glad to be in the building. You know what I'm saying? Our annual Thursday night get together, talking sports, talking football, talking etc.
Hey man, you already know what it is. What's going on, Jimmy? You're right. That Russell Wilson trade did set the Broncos back about 3 to 4 seasons. You're absolutely right. You see, John Elway retired or whatnot, and he said he didn't want to be a part of what's getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, man, when we did the Julio trade, look how long it took us to recover. Don't get me wrong, I love Julio, but just look at the possibility of players we could have had. And now Denver don't went there and multiply that by like 2.
Yeah.
Because they gave up. I can't believe how much they gave up for that one man.
But here's the question. Did he or did he not pay dividends for us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing. The man literally handed us a Super Bowl trophy. Let's be real. The catch that he made, he handed us a trophy.
One of the best catches
we just screwed that up. So you already know what it is. Good evening, Facebook user. So I got to put the banner up for my Facebook users real quick. Not to cut you off, Killian. I apologize. Please click the StreamYard link so we can see who you are. We don't want to just refer to you as Facebook users. We do want to pay some respects to you or whatnot when you come through and you talk to us because we want to acknowledge the fact that you've come to spend a little bit of time with us. So we do
Oh,
appreciate you.
We want to know who you are. What you be?
Nah, say it like you was gonna say it before. We want to know who you is.
Who you is?
Where you at?
Had to put a little, we had to put a little twang on it or whatever, But always, man. But getting back to it or whatnot, we still have, unfortunately, bad news. NFL Hall of Famer Dave Wilcox, who was a former linebacker, passed away at 80. One of the game's greats. He lived a full life, but I know it's hard on the family right now. Like I said, some of us understand what it's like going through a grieving process. So my heart goes out to that family. That's going on right now.
Condolences.
What's going on, Cam? And so lastly, before we get to these stinking birds that we wrote for, Michael Irvin is still suspended from the situation that happened that he was cleared of. And he can't even work the draft now. I want to hear what y'all thoughts are on this one. Please, please, please.
I don't get that. If you've been cleared, why can't you return back to work?
Well, you got to remember, NFL Network is literally in a position where they're more concerned about their image right now, opposed to doing what's right. Now, Mike had a questionable pass back in the day, but the man has been straight as an arrow as of late. He kept his, put his career on the line once again. When you talk about, he's found innocent, but apparently somebody in the front office really doesn't want him there. And you're talking about one of the greatest receivers that played the game.
You think Fox won't scoop him up? They will. Or PBF. They will.
Well, here's the thing. This is my thing. If you're going to put him on a network, I say go ahead and let HBO pick him up. HBO picked up Ray Lewis.
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? After he retired, and they picked up a couple of people. Phil Simms on, Inside the NFL. Let him get on Inside the NFL. Uncensored, uncut, and I think it would work out for him. That's just me.
Yeah, him, James Brown. Oh yeah. Him and Ray Lewis, man. I would love to see them.
Yeah, we may have
the bench.
You wouldn't get in it. Hold on, you wouldn't get a
him and Ray don't need to be in the same studio.
You know them boys. Hold on. You know them boys wouldn't get a word in. You already know how that goes.
Hey man, them hurricane ties are deep.
Oh man.
He said those hurricane ties are deep. You're right. Them old Miami Hurricanes, them Canes. But let's get to it, man. So, as my man Stovall Brandon says, it's probably someone who never played sports is making a decision. Of course it's somebody that's a pencil pusher. Let's be real. You look at the military. I'm fresh. I'm about to be 4 years out of the game or whatnot. And you look at how things are being run. You're having more people with more power with the stroke of a pen than it is being able to be diplomat and being able to sit down and talk to somebody or have what we used to call paint locker meetings. But, that's a whole nother story. So all my veterans that know about the taglines and the paint locker meetings, you know what I'm getting at. Well, we didn't have as many problems when you had people that could work things out without the stroke of a pen. But, hey, I guess that's the new age we live in. But, ladies and gentlemen, without no further ado, let's get to these dirty birds, man. These stinking birds that we love and we call our own. These Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
I had to get a little funny with that whatnot. But I agree with you on that, Scoop. The Shield does have to save face or whatnot. They always save face. Yeah. Even though they have a lot of dirty stuff coming out, just like with the Falcons, when we found out about a lot of guys getting poor medical treatment during the times of their injuries and them being misdiagnosed. We don't know how many careers could have been saved. So, again, the stroke of the pen has screwed up a lot of careers all the way around.
Yeah, it's Hardy. That's all I'm going to say.
Of course. So the first thing I want to get at with you gentlemen is this. How do you feel about the expectations for defensive coordinator Ryan Neilsen for this season coming up? I'm going to let Coach Brandt start because it's been a while since we've had Coach Brandt come through. But Coach is looking like Wild Bill tonight, so I got to let him go for it. Get it, Coach.
Let's go, Wild Bill.
I give you 3 words that should summarize his whole season, and it's all about pressure, pressure, pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Words you don't like as the offensive coordinator.
I just outsmarted him. No, all kidding aside, that's the key to everything. I mean, it helps your linebackers, it helps your secondary, across the board. And let's be honest, there's not any quarterbacks out there that like getting hit. They just don't like it. And the quicker you can get pressure up the middle, especially with those front four guys up the chute, you can't step up and you can't climb that pocket. It's rough on them. They start getting antsy. They start dancing around, and then they start making questionable decisions. And they don't like getting hit, and then you start seeing turnovers. And that's what we're lacking is pressure and turnovers.
Yeah.
And I mean, with our ball control offense that Coach Smith's brought to the table, our running game, man, you get some timely stops and can get off the field, and you get in that 4-minute offense, and you can close games out with our running game. You know, it sets the table for everything. So, I mean, you've heard me say this for months now. You have to do layers of defense. You have to be able to come in waves. You can't go hard in the first leg of a 400-meter sprint, and then the second you got your tongue hanging out. You have to have that depth, and he's done it. Now it's up to the guys to go out on the field and cut it loose and let's go play.
I agree with you on that. When you really look at it, let's just be real on this. When you talk about this defense, let's get with it. I'm gonna let Killian and I'm gonna let Graybeard jump on this in a second. But I gotta slide on this right here. When you talk about pressure, let's be real about the pressure and the situation that's going down. You literally have brought in one of the most underrated defensive tackles in the game with David Oyemeta. You brought in one of the best in the game. Chris Lindstrom has already said that outside of Grady Jarrett, you got another problem in this guy right here. So when you have packages with him, Grady Jarrett, of course, you know we're not going to wear Calais Campbell out. We're going to let him come in on situational plays because he's a little long in the tooth. We're going to use him for leadership. But you have him coaching up these young guys. You got Zoe Carter. You got D'Angelo Malone. I'm going to say this here. Arnold Ebiketie, you got to step up this year, bro. You got to step up this year. If you did not hit the weight room, if you didn't get any steaks and potatoes in your system during the offseason this year and put on at least about 10 or 15 more pounds, you know, we're going to have another problem because you still light in the behind.
I still think Malone's going to be he's going to be your guy this year. He's going to come out of nowhere.
Let them guys develop, man. Don't be putting them under the fire like that. Let them guys develop. That's why we brought in those vets, so those guys can slowly come around.
Here's the thing. AK-47 can't just use his speed just to get off. He's got to learn how to use his hands and his technique. That is something he lacked when he was at Penn State, even though he ate up a lot of blocks, and that's how Michael Parsons is. But let's be real. You were the other guy on the other side. You put your name out there. You have to be in a situation to where you can get off these 300-pound linemen because you're gonna have to make plays. Have to.
I think there's two other things that solidify this defense that I would like to see take place. We need to address linebacker, and I want to see one more safety.
Well, we already said linebacker is a little thin. I've already said this here. Everybody's like, oh, well, we get Jack Campbell. I'm going to be honest with you. I like Jack Campbell, and I've been heavy on him. But I got to say.
He can't run in the shoebox. He doesn't translate to the damn NFL. You slow.
Give me Arbery Miller out of Jackson State in the third or fourth round. If he lasts that long, you got to go get it. That is a guy. We need a middle linebacker. We lack with Michael Walker. I'm sorry. I know there's people out here that are like, well, he didn't have – no. Michael Walker as a middle linebacker is not going to work. Now, if you use him as an edge rusher, maybe it might work.
Campbell
That's
reminds
just
me
me.
of Paul Warlow. If you run right at him, you're all right. But that cat's slow running sideline to sideline. I'm telling you, I've watched him. He don't have.
And
He don't have it.
we
You
need to
just trashed Paul Witterow, and he led the defense with tackles last year he was here.
Well,
Last
but
2 years.
you understand what I'm saying. I mean,
No, I
you
get
got to
what
be
you're
able.
saying, Coach.
You got to be able to play 53 and a third yards when you're playing linebacker.
Of course.
You
But
have
how
to.
many? But here's
That
the
cat
question:
runs
how
a
many
four. That
folks
cat runs a 4.7. Damn it, we got 5 linemen that run faster than him.
Yeah, I want lightning fast.
I want somebody that can get out and can scrape
Drew
all
Sanders,
the way to D gap.
good pick.
Yeah,
I think Drew Sanders would be a good. I think Drew Sanders would be a good pick for us as well. But as I said before, go ahead.
I believe our rookies that we took last year are going to be the rotational pieces. These pieces that we brought in doing the agencies will be the guys that you're going to see on the field majority of the time. You're going to see these guys rotate like Ebiketie, Malone, because they have to have somebody to learn from. Last year they were just going with the going.
Well, and the reason I say that Campbell's not going to be the guy. Fontenot and Smith have been here 2 years. What's been the theme of their draft? Speed and physical.
Yeah.
That dude's got physical. He ain't got speed.
But here's the crazy part about it. When you talk about physical and you talk about the speed or whatnot, you're right. He doesn't have it. But when you talk about an Aubrey Miller, that is a guy, or Drew Sanders, you're talking about guys that show up in the bad mood.
Give me the dude from Texas, TCU. He's a thumper. I mean,
yeah, I like it.
You talking about D Winters, yeah. Winters is a guy that I would look at heavily as well.
Yeah, I mean, that cat can run. I mean, we need somebody to play sideline to sideline.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it like this, Coach. I'm gonna say it like this. If you can go get Troy Anderson out of a Montana State, you better go get a guy like a Drew, like an Isaiah Land or an Aubrey Miller coming out of these 2 HBCUs. Because let's be real, it's better talent at the HBCU level than it was where Troy Anderson came from. Let's be real on that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm just saying, I really feel like this year, as Scoop mentioned, training camp's gonna be fun. You're gonna see a lot of competition this year. Yeah. And you're gonna see guys push each other.
Oh yeah.
I want to see some fist fights. I'm gonna be real with you. I want to see some fist fights in training camp. Let's be real.
Sharpens iron.
And guess what? What do you think that's gonna do to that offensive line?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna put up a shutout. Yeah,
yep.
Put up a shutout to Doug Temple. Exactly. I mean, I believe that not to cut you off, but going on you with AK, if AK can't rely on the speed, I agree with you. You're gonna turn into another Big Beasley 2.0. And God knows we don't need another of that. So I agree with Coach, man. It's all about the pressure, but it's also about the consistency. Can we consistently get our third down? If we get them like 3rd and 15, they don't pick up 18. Stuff like that or that. Just little minor mistakes that we normally do. I think Ryan Neilsen really going to drill that in. Situational football is key.
On paper, we look like we legit now. I mean,
hold on, don't wait a minute. Now you saying we look legit now on paper? I get you, but remember this too: the Cleveland Browns look legit on paper too at one point, if you remember.
They should have went to the AFC Championship. Right?
But we still have
with all that defensive talent that they had money on, it's what it is. And we got to give a shout out to our boys over at We Hawks TV. My guy, check those boys out during the Atlanta Hawks playoff run right now. I know it looks bleak right now, but we ain't out of it yet. So check those guys out.
2-2.
Great insight for the Hawks. But this is our other family right now. And as he just stated, he said the Falcons look good. He says we're going to here's the thing. The division is up for grabs, bro. Damone. The division is up for grabs. If we actually can have guys to fight like they did last year with even more talent that we've accumulated, I really believe that we could actually make a wild card or even win the division this year. Let's just be real. I'm not gonna put those standards too high yet. I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna put those standards too high yet. The reason I say wild card is because that's something that we were only a sack away that we got robbed out of, or a bad call for a first down on a 4th and 1.
Yeah.
We need to win the damn division this year. It's been right there for us 2 years in a row, and we've wet the bed.
We win the division.
Let's call it like it is.
I knew. Hold on, Coach. Wait a minute. I knew you were getting ready. I knew you were getting ready to get live with it. Go ahead.
No, I mean, damn. Opportunity presents itself. Kick the door down and take charge. Go get it.
Go get it.
Damn. Ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing.
Well, you gotta go get the draws. Let's just be real. Look, I'm gonna quote my man. I gotta quote my man Marcus. Hey, they handing us the draws. They literally handing us the draws with the division. The Bucks are a mess. The Aints can't figure nothing out. And now the Carolina Panthers, a first-year head coach, a first-year defensive coordinator, and a first-year offensive coordinator, and y'all don't even have a franchise quarterback. Okay, Atlanta better jump on this right now while they're getting this good. Because we already know Carolina was tough with Wilkes last year. So it's not like they have a bad team. The question is, are they going to play for Frank Reich like they did for Steve Wilkes? That's the question.
They ain't got a choice.
Look how many damn games we gave up last year. Just flat out just gave away. Here, you take it. I don't want it. Go ahead. Let me give this to you.
That gave up the Carolina game at home.
Yeah. Well, the first game of the year, I'm still sick over that one. Them damn bagheads got us.
That first game of the season, Arthur Smith decided to play conservative. Here's the thing. When you in a game with the New Orleans Saints, it don't matter what the records are. Look, when you're in a situation where you can put a game away like that, you put it away. You don't ever leave a coward around long enough because they will bust you in the mouth. And I'm going to be real with you. I hope and pray that the Boston Celtics leave the Hawks around long enough so they could bust them in the mouth for at least a game or two. That's what I'm hoping for. But I ain't going to get too heavy into the Hawks talk, but I had to do that for my guy, DeMarnus, and he always shouts us out. Y'all check out We Hawks TV again. Subscribe to their channel and also subscribe to ours. The BirdCage LLC. Check us out on YouTube. I had to throw that up in there again. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, most definitely. Got to. Now, let's keep it a buck. Since we talked about iron sharpening iron with the pass rush and the defense, boosting, bullying, maybe they might bully the offensive line into where Tyler Algier might be a 1,600-yard rusher this year. What do y'all think?
Hey, man, if he can give me another 1,000 yards, man, I'm good. I'm good, man. Just let him build, man. Just let him build, man. Just let
1,600 yards sounds great, but I believe we're bringing another back in this draft, and then we're going to have, even though y'all keep talking about, the guy that his backup that he had last year, but I'm just saying, I just feel like we're going to go get us another guy who's going to have a
We're going to draft him. We're going to draft a running back. I promise you. They will get a speed guy.
So here's the question.
I just see him
having. You think they're going to take Bijan at 8?
No. Hell no.
You can get Gibbs in the later round, man.
What's going on, Melton? Our brother Jason Melton. What's happening?
Melton,
what's up, Melton?
Homie?
What you say, Stuart?
There's way too many guys that are proven that you don't have to spend in the top 10 at running back that can be very productive. Hell, look at Algier. Look where we got him.
That's where we going.
Yes.
We
fifth round.
Fourth, fifth round. They go running back off the board. The Falcons will take another one.
So
I know
Ron, you and I have talked many times. There's about 5 or 6 guys that we have quote unquote targeted. You and I have that you're plug and play with any of them that come in. They're a great compliment.
Exactly. So I got my guy Facebook user. I was able to see who it was. It's my guy Georgia Born or whatever. Shout out to my man Georgia Born who comes through on Falcons Nest all the time. Hey, do me a favor, bro. Click on the StreamYard link so we can have you in here because me and you might bump heads when it comes to certain opinions, but you do bring great insight to the table. And I feel it's only right that people should know who you are because you definitely come with it, fam. And we definitely appreciate what you do. And I agree with you on this. They're going to probably look at the cat from Eastern Carolina that we talked about. And the other cat that I talked about was Tajay Spears out of Tulane University. That is a guy who I would actually really consider.
Yeah, I looked at the kid from ECU, man. He's pretty good, but the guy from Tulane, I don't even think he's gonna be on the board. I think somebody's gonna scoop him up.
So here's the question: do you think they're gonna scoop him up first, or do you think it's gonna be one of those situations where they're going to? Do you think it's gonna be one of those situations to where it's gonna happen? It's gonna happen when it happens.
I think it's gonna happen when it happens, but the kid from Tulane, man, if you go watch his tape, because I went and watched like a couple of his games, the dude is a complete football player. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, so.
He blocks, he tackles, he does all.
I'm trying to
because
tell you.
he had to tackle a few times because his quarterback threw a few interceptions. So
Right.
if we need him on special teams, he definitely don't mind going in and doing it.
Fact. But yeah, he's a good back, man.
I don't know, man. I think y'all way off. I think y'all don't even know who we gonna take. He gonna be somebody y'all ain't looking.
Yeah, we don't know, but we going after him.
Hold on, I got one for you. You sitting there saying that. I got somebody for you, and they already looked at it. Eric Gray out of Oklahoma. They looked at him, and remember, he started at Tennessee first.
Yep.
That is a guy that they've had their eyes on for a minute, bro.
He's a home run hitter. He's a Memphis kid. He can play. He's got good hands out of the backfield. He's strong lower body. So he's.
I think he would have came out last year, but he stayed in. He stayed one more year.
He's more your. I'm not comparing him to him, but for a likeness, he's your Kamara type kid, running back.
Okay.
He's that kind of guy.
All right.
But he can go from anywhere on the field. He can score.
So do y'all think they drafted deep?
What about the kid from Georgia? What about the kid from Georgia?
Here's the thing. Kenny McIntosh is battle tested. He never dropped a pass at Georgia. We talked about we needed another back to come out of the backfield that could catch, that could also run between the tackles, and has good speed or whatnot. Kenny McIntosh is that guy. Minus him getting tripped up in the Peach Bowl with the turf monster, Kenny McIntosh is a guy who can go. You put the ball in his hands. South Florida kid, out of Fort Lauderdale, great speed, and very, very, very tough when it comes in between the tackles. And speaking of tough, we got to bring in one of the tough. We got to bring in a guy that we gotta make him look tough for the boys if they looking. We got Coach Cam in the building or whatnot, man. What's happening, Coach?
What's happening, fellas? What's happening?
You mind turning your TV down for us, boss?
Hold on. His brother on vacation.
I think McIntosh probably be the second or third back gone off the board. He ain't gonna stay on there no more than the second round. He gone.
I mean, it really depends how far. When the running back starts going, that's when we'll jump in there. It'll be a
course. And McIntosh did run McIntosh ran a 4.6, but remember Jerry Rice ran a 4.79 in his 40. And if you remember, nobody can catch him from behind like that. Most guys don't run good. It's some guys who run great 40s, but then you got guys that have game speed. McIntosh is a guy that has great game speed. And when you look at it, that is a guy who can do something.
If I'm correct, Anquan Bolden ran a 4.83.
Yep, he did.
So, hey, Cam, is that your TV still loud, man? Because we getting a lot of feedback on here, man.
Nah, my TV is on mute.
Well, who's got a TV on right now?
Not me.
I don't have mine on.
It ain't me.
Cause I hear it.
Cam, I think that's you, bro. We hear noise in the back.
Probably my wife talking right now.
You got to step out the room, man. We're Hold on. We're struggling. We're actually struggling till we get to the top, my guy. We got to have all kinds of clear surfaces right now. But you brought a little comedy with us, though. I appreciate it.
You already know.
And tell the missus enjoy the vacation as well. We do appreciate you coming through. And speaking of Kyle Pitts, since somebody brought him up, I wasn't gonna say nothing. But one of y'all decided to bring him up, so let's talk about it. So Kyle Pitts, if he doesn't step his game up, do you feel like he's gonna be the next #1 draft pick that we've had in the past 7 years that does not make it past their rookie contract before they get traded?
I hope not.
You got John O. Smith now. He is expendable. if he don't get it done.
John Smith is a weapon in itself.
John Smith's a dog.
You also got John
That's
Fitzpatrick.
Cordell Patterson with a bigger body.
I don't know, man. Maybe he's trying to
We
sabotage
tight end heavy, man.
about Atlanta. He may not like being here. I don't know.
We got Hodges and Pruitt.
Well,
Hey,
we
man,
can help
look.
him out if he don't like it.
Yeah, we can help him out. Cause look, we'll ship him right back to Philadelphia where he came from. And I don't even think they want him because at the end of the day, he don't play with the toughness that somebody out of Philly would have.
Man, they
Here's
got
the
their
thing:
time, man.
if it does click with him and he takes off, and you got those two together,
I
now
hope he does.
yes, absolutely. I hope it turns around this year.
So for those who think we hate Kyle Pitts, no, we don't. We just call him out. We call everybody out that literally loafs, that does not play well. Because look, I call out Richie Grant all the time, and a lot of people say, "Why do you call him out?" And I said, "No, Richie don't know how to play pool. When we say playing pool, we got a guy that doesn't know how to play angles. And right now, it's the job for the other safety spot is gonna be between him and Hawkins. Let's be real."
Boy, this freaking training camp gonna be some battles.
So all I'm gonna say is this here. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a first or a second round pick get slid up out of Atlanta. You see, they got rid of Tack McKinley, who was a first round pick. They got rid of Vic Beasley. They got rid of Keanu O'Neal. None of these guys have made it through their rookie contract. Jalen Mayfield might be on the board next.
I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of this revolving door. We just collecting first round, and we, the only franchise in NFL history, selected a tight end that early, and then he don't pan out. Nah, bro, we can't do it. No.
So here's the thing, man.
Hold on. Cal is going to play more wide receiver, and also Mariota overthrew him a lot. I will agree to disagree because a lot of his routes, Cal gave up on. So let's stop the cap. Cal does not create separation at the line. He doesn't dominate linebackers like he should with his speed as well as his strength. He's soft at the line. Secondly, he doesn't run complete routes. If he's not the target, he's not running the route completely. Mariota is the type of quarterback who throws you open. Kyle Pitts doesn't run to the open spot. So that's on Kyle Pitts more so than it was on Mariota. So can we stop making excuses for that man? Stop.
It's only two places I want to get a tight end from. I either want to get one out of Notre Dame or I want to get one coming out of Georgia. I'm just gonna be real because you talking about tight ends. If we can draft Darnell Washington, better known as Granddaddy, as Killian calls him, better known as Clutch. We call him Granddaddy because he walked like an old man.
Granddaddy.
That's Granddaddy.
We got Hesse back along with John Smith.
I like Hesse as a fullback. Him and Keith Smith. I like them in the fullback role.
Yeah, but you can balance up the offense by putting him up on the line with John Smith and make people play you straight up by doing that. You know,
so
you go too tights and you know that big back in the backfield, and they can't shade you one way or the other. That creates problems. Cam will tell you that. If I can make you play me straight up, I like my chances.
That's
especially in that zone
scheme. For you, Coach. Now you just mentioned that. So do you think they're gonna play a lot of? Do you think they're gonna play a lot of 11 personnel or 12 personnel now? Even though we do run two tights, but the personnel that we're bringing in, you can start spreading people out and having one tight end on the line, but having your receivers spaced out now. Do you think we're gonna start doing that or what?
I say bring Jonnu in, play tight end, and move that boy to the wide receiver. You're gonna have to play some wide out.
Honestly, if it's us, I would run a lot more 12 men only because you can do more things with Jonnu on the field. So right. you can cover up Kyle's weaknesses with having Jonnu on the field because now you can use both of them as weapons. You don't have to use one as either a blocking end. You can use them both to go out and do routes. So you're really going to have to play, especially if you have a team who's weak at coverage. That's a problem because now you have multiple receivers on the field and you don't have enough people to cover them. So guess what happens? You thin out their secondary. and then you beat them upside the head with the run game.
I like that.
So so Georgia Born responded to you. He says, I disagree. Mariota overthrew a lot of receivers. Kyle Pitts went to the Pro Bowl after his first year, not because of touchdowns, but passes caught.
First
So
of all, can we please start using the Pro Bowl as a measuring stick? The Pro Bowl is a god darn popularity contest. If we're gonna use something as a measuring stick, let's go all pro. First team, second team. Pro Bowl, stop using that as the measuring stick for these players, bro. It's a popularity contest.
The Pro Bowl is not even the same anymore. It's a beauty contest now.
Well,
But
and to Cam's point right there, he was force-fed the ball by Matt Ryan because, one, we had no running game.
Thank you.
There was no other receiver on the team. I mean, Julio was gone. Ridley was suspended. And, I mean, who the hell were you going to throw the ball to?
That's a damn good question.
He's my height. He's 5'9". He ain't going to do nothing. Damn. I mean.
All he had.
Hey, hold up. Wait a minute. Got to shout out to Sports and Society that's checking in with us tonight. Definitely appreciate y'all coming through. But hold up, what's wrong with 5'9"? Now you know
Unless
I'm a 5.
You better be Tyreek Hill if you're gonna play number one receiver in the NFL at 5'9", because them big dudes who get their hands on you, you ain't going nowhere, Ryan. I played receiver. I know.
Hell, coach. Here's the thing. I didn't want to be a diva. I played safety, so I know how it feels to get a 300-pound man up off of me.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where that bench press look. That's where that bench press come in. Them dumbbell flies, them darn power clings, and those
you
darn
play DB because you couldn't catch.
No. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You forgot McGriff told you I was a tailback too.
I just give you hell, man.
I know it's okay.
That's a little DB wide receiver.
Hey, remember this. Remember, Coach McGriff had me playing. I didn't want to play receiver, but he made me play receiver, and I played running back too. So I had hands. Now, don't get it twisted. It's always a damn wide receiver that want to start. That literally want to start some foolishness. Now see, you done took me off of what I was gonna say. Now I got to get on you now. I'm gonna say this here. I like receivers to catch passes and touchdowns for my teams, but most receivers don't like getting hit. And I know you was one of them. You did not like that physicality like that.
I had no problem with getting hit.
Hold on. It's a difference when you see it coming and you can tense up for it. I'm talking about the shots you don't see coming.
Hey, I played my last year in college was 1994. I played real football when they didn't have that damn baby shit going on now.
Yeah. Hold on. I think I might have been the last one to experience getting hit in the head.
Yeah.
I was the last one to experience actually using my head as a weapon.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I've been woke up with the smelling salts before. It ain't no fun.
You know what? Don't bring back a bad memory. I honestly hated that when I had to take that smelling cap before. That is an awful smell.
Yes, it's
right there. It hurts your nose as soon as you smell it. It hurts.
It burns.
Unforgettable.
It burns and it stays with you.
Yeah.
So
Coach is coming to check on you every 2 hours to wake you up all night.
God, bro.
I gotta get back to my guy Georgia Born. So you're saying Pro Bowl means achievement. So okay, if you ever look at the Pro Bowls now, no one competes in the Pro Bowls. It is a shake your hand, let me slap you on the thigh, good play, bro. They don't compete like they used to. Pro Bowls don't mean the same no more. Let's just be real on that. Them boys don't compete like that. They're protecting their brand. Now, if you go back to the days when the last days of Sean Taylor, God rest his soul, that was the last time they competed in the Pro Bowl. So that argument about having a Pro Bowl, man, sit down with that, please. Everything else I'm cool with, but the Pro Bowl, dog, come on, man. It's not the same, and you know that.
There's legitimately.
Now I agree with this point that he put out. Now he did catch passes from Matt Ryan, and like I said, He caught passes from Matt Ryan because he was trying to establish himself as a rookie. When he came in and he knew he was the man, he fell off with his route running the next year. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, dog. But moving on to our next topic tonight. Do you think this is a make or break year for Arthur Smith?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
What puts him in that category? Is it the fact that he had money this year and they were able to add a defense?
No, he had a
And
lot
now
of
he's
money.
got 8 draft picks.
He should have won the division twice, and he didn't.
He should have won the division last year.
Yeah,
With the team that we had,
yeah.
we were a game out from going to the playoffs and winning the division.
Yeah, and the year before we had a shot too. Believe it or not, we pretty much had the same record.
so we're literally sitting. We're sitting.
Don't hurt my feelings like that, because you literally are hurting my feelings. I know the truth hurts, but right now I ain't trying to hurt. I'm trying to be happy.
Well,
but it's real though. It's real.
No, we know it's real. I'm just joking about it.
So we had one of the best running games in all of football last year, and contrary to what a lot of our fans believe, our defense was not as bad as it looked. It really wasn't, because there were games where the defense held on and the offense pissed the bed for, So with this season, now we can actually run the offense that Arthur Smith wants to run, because we have a defense that can back up the offense, and we can actually manage the game in a way that he wants to manage it, because he wants to run the ball more than he wants to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So now that we can do that, and we have a defense that can come on the field and actually hold people or take the ball away, you're going to see a lot more of the RPO that's going to be instilled with Desmond Ridder, and is going to open up the playbook a lot more, because now we're going to have more chances to put points on the board, because we have a defense that's not going to be a bend but don't break type of defense.
No, I got you. So what I'm gonna do, because my guy is in here going in. I'm getting ready to drop a link or whatnot. Ooh, that came out bad. I just dropped the link. I just literally just dropped the link for StreamYard. So if you want to come in here and chop it up with us, you can. I just wanted to put that out there, because we got some people that's chiming in tonight, and maybe they got some insight as we see with some things. So I provided a link in the Facebook app. I'm getting ready to provide that link in my and pretty much in the YouTube app right now as well, ladies and gentlemen. So as I said before, we do appreciate y'all for coming through, but we definitely gotta make this thing work or whatever. So we can have you guys.
With Arthur Smith, if he wins the division, this literally guarantees him about 2 or 3 more years.
Nah, winning the playoff game guarantees with that. Just getting to the playoffs and losing.
You can't sit there and say that, bro. Like, he got to
have to win. He's gonna have to win the game. He's gonna have to at least win a game to be given another year or 2.
Yeah, he's got to.
That. I agree with that, because now they're gonna be
save his skin.
Yeah, now you had the money. You pretty much pick the player that you want to have. Now, the only thing they're gonna pay is, do you have the quarterback that you want? Right now, I think
what's going on, Mike?
I think Ridder is the guy, so you need to just go ahead and run with that. But
yeah, we promoted
with you.
I'm sorry. It was somebody just asked you something, Glenn.
What is that?
Yeah.
We're gonna be live draft night. We're promoting it. We already put out a flyer for it. We're gonna put it out again. So we will be live draft night. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna have people interacting with us during draft night. So you can talk about the picks, whether you like it, whether you don't. Who do you think we should have taken or whatnot? We definitely gonna have it. And we're also gonna be doing giveaways. We're gonna have some prizes for everybody. T-shirts with BirdCage logos on it. You already know what it is, but I got to make sure my crew is taken care of first. But we're actually going to make sure that we get this out to you guys. So Michael says he believes it's going to be 9 or 10 wins.
It easily could have been that last year.
11 wins. 11 wins. Let's go.
10 wins at the minimum. 10 wins at the minimum. I got to get double digits.
Push it to the limit.
I got to get double-digit win this year. I got to have it.
11.
I agree. With everything that we got going on and whatnot, I really believe that we have to be in a position to where we can make some stuff go. And I just posted the StreamYard link on YouTube. So for my YouTube followers, if you want to jump in, click on that link and jump in here with us. We'll definitely chop it up with you because we appreciate your support. And I'm going to resend that link out again in my other chats and whatnot. So if anybody wants to chime in tonight, you definitely can. Because hey, we definitely love the fact that you guys come in here and you guys say, y'all have opinions and you say it with your chest, even if we don't agree with it.
Yeah, I think next week, man, we gonna see so many trades going on next week. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Well, we already know the draft getting ready to be ugly.
Yeah.
We already know it's gonna be some people that's gonna be pissed off about what's happening.
Yeah.
You got two quarterbacks that stock is sinking fast right now in the draft. You got.
We'll be back on. So Mike asked, we'll be on draft night at 8 p.m. But what we're gonna do a little earlier, just to get the prelude going, we'll probably end up starting like around 7:45, 7:50, so we can give everybody a chance to come in. So when the draft starts or whatnot, we can make sure that we're all on point and all together.
Yeah.
So we definitely got some things coming up.
Everybody get your refreshments, your beverages, all your good stuff. We going in.
It's 4:20. It's 4:20 today. So if some of y'all got some stuff that y'all want to use on that day, I'm not saying what it is because I am not trying to go to jail.
Depends on where you live.
You have your other herbs and spices or whatnot that you can light up with lighters. I'll just leave it that way. And y'all can join us.
Hey, I can't do it where I work. Wow.
So let's be real about this here, ladies and gentlemen. So I got a question for you. So now that we said Smith has weapons, it's a make or break year for him or whatnot. Do you believe, even if we draft a number 2 receiver who can go, do you believe we're gonna have in Jonnu Smith, you got Kyle Pitts, and you have Drake London and whoever else comes in? Do you think we're gonna have multiple 1,000-yard receivers? Is that a possibility of this year?
It's a huge possibility.
Yes,
it's a huge possibility. Because let's look back to the Titans offense where Arthur Smith was the OC. It was AJ Brown and the young buck. They both went over 1,000 yards while King Henry had, I want to say, 2,000 yards that year.
Yeah.
Robert Wood.
Tyler Algier went for a little over 1,000 and some change last season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He only played how many? 9 games, 10 games?
Where he started. So let's be real about it. You're gonna have a healthy Kyle Pitts, give or take, a healthy Jonnu Smith.
Hold on, that's if he run his routes right and he don't throw a fit.
A healthy Drake London. You got Scotty Miller. Who's the number 2 guy?
That's if Scotty Miller can get his wait a minute. Hold up. That's if Scotty Miller can fight his way out of a wet paper bag. He spent more time on the bench.
And we're gonna draft Cedric Tillman, and he's gonna ball out this year.
Yeah.
So,
or if we don't draft Cedric Tillman, we still got Xavier Smith, Shaq Davis, and Jadakiss Bonds.
That's right.
Yeah, we got them guys.
I won't say, look, I wouldn't mind Cedric Tillman, but if we don't get him,
what's the receiver from TCU? Quentin Johnston, I think.
Nah, he going bottom of the first.
He going bottom, dog.
I don't see it.
I'm telling you, Tillman, y'all never even hear Jalen Hyatt, but it's not for him last year getting hurt. That dude he's your Michael Irvin body type, body you up, and he's a hand catcher.
I like Tillman. I like Tillman over Hyatt though.
I said that too. I mean, he was the guy, but he's damn near 6'5". He's a big.
Or give me Jackson Smith, or give me Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I mean, he followed us. Yeah, we snatched.
The reason I say Jackson Smith and Jigba, you're talking about a guy who has great hands, can take the top off of the defense. I say this: Jackson Smith and Jigbo's hands reminds me of another Ohio State alum who's a Hall of Famer. Now, I'm not saying he is him. He just reminds me of him when he catches the football.
Chris
He
Carter.
got hands like Chris Carter.
Oh, damn.
He got hands like Chris Carter. Say what you want. The boy got hands like Chris Carter. If he didn't have a hamstring injury this year, I'm just gonna be real with you. Hyatt don't win that award. Because let's be real, Jackson Smith and Jigbo put the nation on notice when he got his chance and he finally was able to start in that game against Utah in the Rose Bowl, and he had 5 touchdowns in that game. Let's be real on it.
Boy,
That's against Utah. That's against Utah.
And that same Utah team and that defense gave Florida problems, and it gave Michigan problems, and anybody else that's come against them. That Michigan team, and matter of fact, speaking of that, one of our linebackers that we got from New Orleans or whatnot, his dad is a defensive line coach for Utah.
Yep.
I wanted their linebacker last year. I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted Lloyd.
Everybody keeps talking about A.T. Perry. I like A.T. Perry, but just too inconsistent for me. If he's more consistent, I would want to take him, but he ain't consistent enough for me. Great hands, great and hell of a 40 time, 4.340. Great speed. But here's the thing. What can you do is kind of like the movie Necessary Roughness, if y'all remember.
J.J. Featherstone.
Don't throw it to Stonehead.
Oh, yeah.
The ball is my friend. The ball is my friend. The ball is
Hey, somebody gonna be telling that boy the ball is his friend. He come to Atlanta. Just remember, you ain't on scholarship, son. You can be cut.
Yep.
Now,
I
really believe that we could probably have some 1,000-yard receivers. I really believe so. But let's get to the fun part of this conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Desmond Ridder and Zoe Carter changed jersey numbers.
89.
Zoe did it because he got paid.
Jersey.
You know why that number 9 is so special. Wait a minute. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I got something for you.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sure as hell am doing it. And this is why Desmond Ridder is my boy. Yeah. I go back. I got my high school Letterman jacket. And guess what? Yeah, that was my old jersey number. So Ridder is my dog.
I'll tell you later.
Been my dog forever. But let's just be real. I always wore number 9. So, hey, me and Ridder got something in common. So let's just be real on that, man. I really think that now you put the 9 on him, he's going to feel more at home and he's going to feel more comfortable. Like, I believe it's just like, who would I say? That's like looking at Eric Dickerson without goggles and that mouthpiece when he's running down the field. You don't, and if you ever look at the pictures in the film, it just don't look right without. Now that he's got that number 9, let's see if he can actually turn into Superman now.
The weapon that he's about to get, he should.
He's gonna do all right. All he's gonna do is just go out there and make the plays they need to make and feel more comfortable. He don't have to keep looking over his shoulder. I know we're gonna bring giving him the keys and all you got.
Yeah, we actually talked about him because he's actually a local Georgia kid. He's actually a Georgia kid. The kid that's at Buffalo. 4.3 speed, big body receiver, very, 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 very tough guy. We actually mentioned him in a chat that we as the BirdCage brain children have offline. We've talked about him. He actually was in that. But he's actually a guy that Atlanta's looking at. Home state kid, great hands. You know, he was a 3-star coming out of high school. But he turned into a great receiver at Buffalo.
Late rounder.
Fontenot said I got a piece next to every player out there that's from the state of Georgia. I'm bringing them home.
And if you ever notice when you looked at all them boys in New Orleans, it was either Georgia, Florida, or Louisiana boys he had in there. If you remember.
Mm-hmm.
I think he finally I like them came on in his head. He's like, I'm going to Southeast.
Of course, it makes sense to bring guys that are from around the region back into bring them back home. It makes perfect sense to do that. And you know, if you don't do that, it makes it foolish because you see they're profiting and benefiting everywhere else in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every other team come and pick out of Georgia with no hesitation. New Orleans did it. Philly did it. New England did it. We the only team that does. We be like, nah.
But this is what baffles me.
They go to South Dakota.
Why? But hold on, this is what baffles me. The Georgia Bulldogs are in your backyard. The owner, the original owner, Rankin Smith, was a University of Georgia alum. You base your colors off of the University of Georgia. See, Tennessee boys got to pull for something Georgia in their life at least once. So, they actually can be, hopefully they can actually be associated with a winner this time. But,
go.
Oh, yeah, you know I was going to get you back. Don't think I forgot about you. I told you. Told you I was going to get you.
That's right.
Said, how did Apollo Creed saying, Rocky, you ready to lay down?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, I got the plan. So the kid out of Buffalo that you're talking about is Justin Marshall. The kid that you're talking about is Justin Marshall. So, and he definitely is a guy that's very talented, can block, pass, and he's got everything rolling. I think that Justin Marshall would be perfect for our offense if we don't get anything else. But again, I'm going to keep pounding the table, and I'm going to beat it into everybody's head till they sick. Give me one of them boys out of these HBCUs. And it's a kid that's in Delaware State right now that is a monster at receiver, plays just like John Taylor. His name slipped my mind, but he is one of the top. He's quietly a guy that that has showed his behind. And if we're gonna bring another Georgia kid home, if we're gonna draft another safety / corner, and we can get him in the low area, and he's a Georgia kid. So in case Jeff Okudah goes down again, give me John Nunn Liddell all day.
Or we can bring in Chris Smith as a backup to Bates or somebody.
But here's the thing: we need a corner. We don't need another safety. We already got two. We got 3 safeties right now. Really 4. We need another. We need more depth at the cornerback spot because they kept
Richie Grant. Trade Richie Grant.
He's not gonna get much value. But
wait a minute. Hold up. So I got a question for you. Now we've been talking about trade Richie Grant. They kept Cornell Armstrong from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know.
Why?
That I can't tell you. I don't understand why.
Because if we all remember, who was the corner that got beat down the field for the touchdown by DJ against Carolina?
But you got to remember. But here's the thing. But you got to also remember this too. Cornell Armstrong also he literally went through trial by fire in that Cincinnati game, and he figured it out, and he started to become a serviceable backup for us. Let's be real on that.
They put him on Jahmyr Chase, man. That was unfair.
That's what you no. Here's the thing: you're a professional athlete. Right. It is what it is. They put you on him. Guess what? Do your job. You got to figure it out. You might get beat once or twice, but you figure it out. Like I give you a guy, and I'm gonna use an example. We all hate the Dallas Cowboys, but I got to use him as an example because he was a hell of a safety, and he was a very good safety coach as well. But he started off as a corner. It was bad. Charlie Waters used to get beat like he stole something. You look at Harold Carmichael and you had Charlie Taylor, they was abusing that dude. When they moved him to the strong safety position, he became a straight terror. And we know about that because he and that Doomsday 2 defense shut down Atlanta in 1980. And Coach can remember that.
I cried that day. That was terrible.
Don't feel bad. I've cried twice over the Falcons. I cried over the 28-3, and I've also cried. And I cried in 1998. I didn't eat for 3 days in 1998 when we lost to the Broncos.
I still pissed at Eugene Robinson.
Hold up. What made it worse was, wait a minute. What made it worse? It was a Georgia Bulldog that broke my heart with Terrell Davis. That's what hurt worse.
Yeah.
My heart polluted us all night. Yeah, I know.
That right there. And don't even get started on Eugene Robinson. Look, we don't even put him in the pictures or whatever. How you get caught up with a prostitute and you in Miami with your wife and your family? How?
It was a whole sting.
I knew it was over.
And you got caught up.
How? And you was the man of the year.
Are you
I want
kidding?
the point on him so bad.
I'm about to say, was it enough cut? Was it enough cut? It wasn't enough cut in Atlanta in the offseason for you to deal with.
He
You
could have
had
did
that
that
Super
after. He
Bowl.
could have did that after the game. I mean,
I'm
shit.
telling you. But just think about it, man. That dude that really hurt my feelings or whatever, because he was part of the problem. But you know, John Elway and that offense from Gary Kubiak and those boys, they had him scouted out from the Super Bowl before that. Because if you
Oh, yeah.
remember, he was the safety for the Green
Green
Bay
Bay
Packers.
Packers. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they already knew his strengths and weaknesses.
No, that man
They're
had
the one that put him on the Sting.
losing his family, man. He kept getting beat.
They're the ones that set him up on the Sting to get
Yeah.
caught.
And Ryan,
Probably did.
but here's the thing: he let Ryan Smith give up. He pretty much let Ryan Smith torch him.
Cooked him. Cooked.
He cooked him. And here's the thing: and Shannon Sharp was supposed to be the guy that was supposed to have a big game till he got hurt.
But he was talking junk the whole night. Shay was talking junk the whole night.
All I could do is just laugh my butt off because it's like, look, Uncle Shay got hurt in that game. I don't wish injury on nobody, but the guy who took off in that game was Terrell Davis and freaking Rod Smith. Not Ed McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's daddy. Rod Smith.
The only highlight we had was Tim Dwight running a kickoff. That was
Where y'all walking?
They shut down Jamal. They shut down Jamal Anderson.
Jamal, he had one
They didn't
22-yard
throw-
run.
Here's my thing. What happened to Tony Martin catching passes? What happened to Terrence Mathis catching passes in that game? I still don't understand it myself.
Boy, they got us out of our game quick in the first drive.
So
Yeah.
So getting to it, we're coming up on our final thoughts, gentlemen. You know, today was a pretty easy day, but we coming up on our final thoughts for the night. And we're not gonna go too deep tonight because we got the draft coming up and we're gonna have some great stuff coming y'all way. Prizes. We're gonna be doing some giveaways, ladies and gentlemen, like we did for our Christmas special. And outside of doing that, we're also going to have coming up soon on the perch. We've got 2 interviews coming up. We possibly, and I'll just say possibly, I'm just gonna leave it out there for you. Possibly we might have an old school Falcons running back coming up to the cage. It might be our first Falcon player, and then we also have a former world featherweight champ. Excuse me, not featherweight, welterweight champ. Possibly doing a show for us too in the next couple of weeks. So on the perch, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the on the perch segment is not relegated to just football. We have all athletes that were either great in college, great in the pros. They all come onto the show. So it's wide open for all athletes, from professional and collegiate athletes that made an impact. And what we do is we actually try to see what out beyond their careers. What are they doing in life now? What have they done for the communities? And we try to bring a positive perspective for all of our athletes that have come through. We were blessed with Dr. Mel Pender, who won the 1968 Olympic gold medal, and is he's an avid fan of the show and has been a blessing for us. Just like James Collins, former coach James Collins, former NCAA star as well as international star overseas and played in the NBA for a little bit. So we were blessed with their presence. We got other things that we're working on that we're going to try to bring to you guys on the interview side, and we just stay patient with us. We have some things coming. Might have another Jacksonville star, former wide receiver, and was a great high school legend around the Jacksonville area, but he played for the Kansas City Chiefs for a bit. So y'all stay tuned to that as well. So we got some things coming for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a website coming out soon that Killer K-Dub is helping me put together. And we're going to have some BirdCage merchandise dropping. So it'll be fun. We'll have some stuff ready for the season and also for the holidays. You don't know what to get your fellow Falcon fan. You already know what to do. Check us out.
Ready.
So going around to the final thoughts after my little plug for everything, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask my guys this. What do you guys expect next week for draft night?
Madness.
I expect
Total madness.
here to have on a new shelf chef hat, and he's gonna be in there, goddamn, filleting it up and saute.
Yeah, I think Terry got things cooked up, man. I think he's keeping stuff close to the vet, but I
Yeah,
expect I
I'm ready,
expect the unexpected. I
I'm ready to
think
see the
it's just
war
gonna
room,
go
baby.
haywire.
I'm
You're
ready.
either
Kyle
gonna
Pitts trade.
you're either gonna see a edge guy, or believe it or not, you're gonna see a quarterback because there's two of them dropping like a rock right now.
Yeah, they really are.
Levis and
I'm
Richardson
prepared.
are falling like
Yeah.
damn gravity grabbed a hold of them. So
I pray to
That
God that
should have been
neither one of them step
expected.
foot in Atlanta.
Will Levis, you know how I feel about him. How can you be the
Trash.
11th ranked passer in the damn SEC and think you're gonna go do it in the NFL? Nope,
That's
you got to go.
hard to try to find a team to put with Levis, man. I'm looking like who gonna take Levis, man? Who gonna
He
take?
needs to go be an underwear model and just give football up.
Oh, that hate is
He ain't a quarterback. I'm telling you, he won't
Yeah.
last 5 years in
So,
the
so
NFL.
wait a minute. So wait a minute. So you going so wait a minute. So you might as well say he's like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch during your younger days.
Yeah, I
So
mean
If you
about
gonna
that,
call him
he's
an
not
underwear
he.
model.
Listen, you are what like Anthony Richardson. The only thing Anthony Richardson brings to the table, other than Levis, is his athletic ability. He's the most gifted athletic guy that's ever hit the combine. So you do have that, but
Dang, so
Richardson
you
was a
taking
50.
away from
But think about it. Richardson was a 53% passer in high school. Okay, he was a 53% passer in college. What makes you think he's going to jump 12 and a half to 15 points and go do it in the NFL against the best of the best?
hey man, Mitchell Trubisky did it.
Shit. Come on, man.
Hey, look,
Glenn, you got jokes, boy.
better look
Oh
at
yeah, yeah. But what I'm
Hey
saying is
Glenn,
those two
I got a
those two
question for
were
you.
10th and
Yeah,
11th rated passers in the SEC.
How much of that damn moonshine you been drinking tonight, boy?
a little bit,
Just
a
enough. Just enough.
little bit, a
A
little bit.
little bit. You might as well. Hey, you might as well stop taking them sips, man, because your tolerance ain't that high. Because
Hey man,
if you believe that,
it wasn't
I
me.
got
It
some.
was
Hey,
Chicago. It wasn't me. It
wait a
was
minute.
Chicago.
If you believe that, I can sell you a ketchup factory and tell you to roll around in an all white Lacoste suit, all white Lacoste linen suit, and you won't get no red on your suit. If you believe that.
Hey! I should have did that in Chicago. I'd probably be a millionaire right now. Cause they broke.
Thank you. Michael called it. Mitchell Trubisky 2.0. Thank you, Mike.
And
Yep.
make it go bad. He didn't even have a winning record in college.
Hey,
He only had
but you know
21
the
and
best part
27.
about it? It's the first time, this the first time I can say that I'm agreeing heavily with somebody from Jersey, because most people from Jersey piss me off when they drive. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you on that.
You ain't
I
lying.
love
Oh
Jersey folks because
God.
they good, humble people, but Lord, I almost got in a wreck today. That's why I was saying that. But Michael's good people. He's out in Puerto Rico. So we definitely appreciate my guy Mike for stepping in and always coming out and just giving us some love or whatnot, man. He comes all the way from Puerto Rico and tunes in to us every Thursday. So salute to my man Mike. So outside of Mike making the laughs about Mitchell Trubisky, now you guys say that the draft is gonna be wild. How do you feel? What do you think we would benefit from in this draft if we grab somebody? I'm gonna go around and then I'm gonna go through our closing and I'm gonna let you guys go. So, Coach Brandt, you first.
I think, like I said, you're either going to see edge, or I think you're going to see quarterback. It's going to happen, one of the two.
Oh, God.
So I think that Terry Fontenot is very calculated in what he wants to do, and I think he's got a very short list of players that he has his eyes on, and if they're there, he's going to take them. I mean, he already proved it with you know who. I'm not going to mention any names, but if they're going to be there, he's going to take them. So that's my opinion on that.
Okay, we got Coach Brandt telling it. How do you feel about this, Killian?
Well, I think it's really like we attacked it and hit a lot of home runs. So I think he's playing with house money. and it's kind of like what Coach was saying up top. Is basically if he see those guys that he has, on his board, the guys that he likes, he has the guy that falls to him, he's gonna select him. I believe it's gonna be defense, but it's gonna be more of an offensive draft. We're gonna go defense at 8, but I think it's gonna be more of an offensive draft. We just draft offensive players better than we do defensive players. I think that's why we attack defense heavy in free agency. We're gonna attack that offense in the draft also.
Okay. Before I get to you, Glenn, I got to give a shout out to one of our viewers. She's been very consistent with coming in. Got a shout out to Rhonda Broadnex, better known as my auntie, Southern University high jumper, holds a high jump record at Jean Ribault High School, or as they were saying in Duval, kind of Ribault. Their record ain't been broke since 1984, and I don't think it's gonna be broken anytime soon. So shouts out to her. That's the reason I got my love for Southern University. That's about it. Cause she like all them damn Florida schools, but it's all good. And she, I ain't gonna put her out there or whatever, but that's my auntie. That's my partner. We bump heads from time to time. Won't see eye to eye, but that's my partner right there. Very supportive. So Glenn, what do you think is gonna change some things? I'm gonna go ahead and move. And thank you, Coach and Killian, for coming through. I'm gonna pull you guys out, and I'm gonna see you guys a little later. So, Glenn, what you got?
I think he's playing the coach to the best. I think we are gonna go defense, but don't be surprised if we don't pick up somebody on the offensive line, because like I said, that's still something that we still want to address. So I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna either go defensive tackle, defensive end, or offensive line.
Fair enough. So we definitely appreciate your analysis, Gray Beard. And we got to finish up with my military partner, my defense, my coach that's finally gonna learn about this defensive side like this here now. Now you got to convert all the way around, Coach Cam. What do you think is gonna happen, bro?
Definitely believe we're going to go defense, like everyone else is saying, either corner or defensive line. But I don't want to put past us trading Kyle Pitts to move back into the first round. Because honestly, the tight end room is already full. It's full, and I just don't see us keeping too many more pieces in that particular area. And with his value, we can get a first round and maybe a couple second rounds. But definitely the first pick is definitely going to be defense, and then I don't see them not pulling that trigger if they get a good enough package for them.
Okay, that's definitely a good analysis. So you enjoy your vacation. You already know what it is. Tell the missus we said hello, and man, get ready for this season, man, because we pulling for you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for coming through, my brother. And I want to also thank everybody else for coming through tonight, man. It means a lot that you guys spent your time with us or whatnot. And like I said, we got the draft show coming up next week. Got some giveaways happening. Y'all got to stay tuned for that. For trivia, also figuring out who's going to be the pick. We're going to do a little something special. So like I said before, man, we definitely wouldn't be able to do this without you. We definitely appreciate it. Got to give a shout out to my BirdCage crew that's behind closed doors that no one talks about or whatnot. They're in the cut. I want to give a shout out to those individuals: Bree, Melton, Sean. We got Scoop. We got Tonio. We definitely appreciate everything that y'all do for us behind closed doors, and we definitely are thankful that y'all spent your hour and a half with us tonight. We definitely are going to have something coming next week, so please stay tuned to that. And also check out the interviews that we got coming up. We got some big time interviews coming up from some very, very important people. So we definitely going to keep it coming for you guys, and we definitely appreciate everything that y'all do for us. We love you, and you guys stay safe, stay prayed up. We love y'all, and y'all just be easy out here and hug on your family if y'all got them still, because like I said, tomorrow's not always promised. So we thank you a lot and we love you. Peace.